right, what up, New York? Gear up. My name is Lamarr Womble, motivational speaker, life coach, podcast host. Very excited to be here with you all to share my top 5 tips for you to have a banging sophomore year of college. And so let's go ahead and get started. Let's not waste any time, right? So, number one is this: know your values, or learn what your values are, right? Now, why is this important? I'll tell you why. Because knowing what your values are actually give words to answer the question, who are you? Because a lot of times I ask young people all the time. I travel over the country talking to young people, and I say, who are you? And when they answer that question, a lot of times they ask with what they do. So they either tell me their job or their major or the things that they like to do, or maybe some interests that they have, instead of telling me like who they are, what they're about, what they represent, right? And that's really what I'm trying to get to the essence of, is like, who are you? And so when you know your values, you can actually give words to that question and answering that question, right? And so for myself, when I think about what my values are, I think about health, I think about community, I think about my friends, my family, I think about time, freedom, and I think about my wealth in terms of time as well. And I think about like experiences, the things that I want to be able to experience throughout my life. And so I use my values as a guide for living, right? Your values are your moral compass, the things that you believe in, the things that you hold true no matter what is going on in your life, right? And so for me, those are my 5. And I really use those as a guide to say, all right, if I take this job, is it going to allow me time freedom? Is it going to allow me to have experiences with my friends and family? Is it going to allow me time to work out and do the things that I care about? If the answer is yes, then it makes sense. If the answer is no, then it may not make sense. And for some of y'all, you're a sophomore in college, you're probably 19, going on 20. You may not feel like you have that power. But I have to tell you, you need to know that you are that valuable, and who you are and how you show up matters. And you have to align yourself consistently with clubs, organizations, jobs, careers, anything you do that are aligned with who you are as a person and where you want to go. And so I'm not saying that you can't do some things that may not be aligned, but for the most part, it is important for you to start valuing yourself in the way that says, I'm only going to get involved with and get attached to things that represent me. Because those things also have an opportunity to say, you know what, we only want people that are also representing what we represent as well. And so it's like a give and take, a mix and match of your values for yourself, for this company, for this organization, or whatever it is that you plan to do. So learn your values. Here's what I would say too. Knowing your values is important because, say these are your values here, right? And on this hand are your actions, the things that you actually do, right? So if your values are education, your values are health, your values are friends and family, love, and maybe you say at the end is like wealth. Maybe you want to be wealthy. These are your 5 things, and your behavior is actually not aligned with those 5 things. So let's say this is education, but you're showing up late to class or skipping class. You're going to tell me that if education is your number 1 value, but you're skipping class and not going, you're out here. Your behavior is not aligned with what your values say they are, right? And so your values serve as an accountability check for yourself to say, are you waking up every single day being the person that you say you want to be? And if you can do that every single day, it's going to answer the question, who are you? But it's going to hold you to be accountable to the person that you say you are. And that, my friends, is super important in terms of learning your values and knowing who you are as a person and at your foundation. All right? Get it? Got it? Good. All right? Here's number 2. And again, these first 2 are like really mindset based, right? So number 2 is this: know your why. My friends, you're in college. In my opinion, college students are the busiest people in the world because they got to work. They got to go to school. They probably got things they need to take care of at home. They got to find internships. And I'm talking about like you got to find an internship and you probably have to work another job, right? In order to get everything you need for your degree, but also to be able to take care of your life. It's going to get hard at some point in time. It's going to get hard. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging. And what I need you to remember is when it does get challenging, is that life is supposed to be that way, right? So that's number one, right? No matter who you are dealing with, no matter what you think about people, if they got money or don't got money or what their past has been or what their struggle is, everyone has a struggle. And money doesn't cover up heartache. It doesn't cover up pain. It doesn't cover up struggle, right? No matter who you are. So life is going to go up and it's going to go down for everyone. It's going to go up and it's going down. And when it's doing that, I need you to remember. I need you to remember what your why is, right? Why you're doing what you're doing. Who is the motivation? What is motivating you to be in college and do it? Who are you doing it for, right? Because when it does get tough, you got to remember why you're doing it and what the outcome is here, what the bigger picture is for you going to college and being successful and graduating from college, right? Because we know that if you were somebody that came from poverty or came from a more challenging background, that going to college and getting a degree can fundamentally change your life. It can fundamentally change your life because the money you will make with your first job out of college can change your entire direction of your family, right? So understand that you have to look at what's deeper. What's deep, like what those reasons are for your why and why you're here. So sometimes when you need that motivation, your why can drive you to go get what it is that you need to get in order to overcome that challenge that you're going through and you're going through in that moment, right? So number 2 is know your why. Number 3, my friends, this is it. And this one is important as well, but this has to do with not only money, but more importantly, skills, right? Some of you, probably not all of you, but some of you went all through high school and you didn't join any clubs. You might have did sports, and that's cool. That's perfect too. But you came to school, you did your thing, and you went home. And maybe you went to work, and that's all good too. But sometimes the jobs we work as high school students still don't allow us to build the skills that we need to succeed after college. So as you get into your sophomore year and you start evaluating the landscape of clubs, organizations, and groups that you want to be a part of, I need you to be looking for clubs, jobs, internships, things that you care about, things that you're aligned with, so that you can start to build skills inside of these different disciplines that allow you to be able to be more marketable after you graduate from college. The internships are made for one thing, and I think this is why internships are so important. You need to know what you don't want to do, right? And the way you go about doing that is by doing internships and trying things, right? One of my favorite quotes is exposure is the birthplace of possibility, right? So you need to go and try things, taste things, see what it's like to work in marketing, HR, in a hospital, in a psych office, wherever it is that you want to do. You need to learn and see what that is, so that you can be like, well, I did that and I didn't like that. So now I know I don't want to do that, right? And so that's why internships become so important, because you get skills and you get experiences to make decisions about what your future can look like. And the sooner you do that, the better guidance and the better decisions you can make on the back end of college, your junior year and your senior year, right? So begin looking for internships, all right? Number 4, my friends, is this. Now, coming out of your freshman year, you probably found some people that you think you're going to probably ride with and roll with throughout college. And I really did hope you did do that, right? But number 4 is this. As you build these friendships and you have these relationships developing, right, blossoming, you really need to do consistently evaluating the people that you are around, right? Are your friends naughty or are they nice? Are they uplifting or are they pulling you down? And I really want you to analyze all the people that you're around, including your family, right? To determine, like, are these people my people? And do you have enough courage when they aren't to either pull away put a boundary in between, put a line down and say, I love you, but you can't be in my space right now because you are distracting me from where I'm going, right? And so understanding that it's so important for you to be able to find your people, because what they say is that you are an average of the 5 people that you put yourself around, right? So if you have people that are around you that are talking about business and lifting you up and trying to be successful and wanting to graduate and want to go on to get graduate degrees, more than likely you will also do the same. But if you have friends doing the opposite of that, and your friends are just partying and they're not doing so well in school, and maybe you've got 1, maybe 2 friends that are doing well, but the rest of them aren't, then you need to reevaluate the people that you're around and stop giving default friends access to your time and to your energy. You feel me? Because the more energy you give to the negativity, the more negative your life will become. I promise you. So y'all need to learn how to put up these boundaries with your friends specifically, so that you know that you are putting yourself around people that you love, care about, and trust with your time and your energy, and they're going to lift you up and not pull you down. Number 5, and this is the last one, my friends. Ask for help. You are on a college campus. There's tutors. There's test support. There's mental health offices. If you need the help, I need you to go ask for it. Don't wait until it's too late. And some of y'all might have went through that your freshman year, but it doesn't stop. It only gets more challenging. It only gets more difficult. Your time only shrinks. You don't get more time, right? The older you get. And so I need you to be able to have the courage to go ask for help when you need it, because in college in particular, no one's going to be tracking you down to give it to you like they were in high school. So you got to go ask for it when you need it. And so please, please, please get in habit of simply asking for help, because it doesn't have to be you by yourself. It can be a team. It can be a group. It can be a family. It can be a squad. It can be the homies, right? Supporting you to get you where you're going. No one's ever done it alone, right? And I think sometimes we don't ask for help because we think that we're not good enough, or it's going to make us look like we're not smart, or that we can't do it, or that we're complaining. None of that is true. None of that is true unless you say it is true. Asking for help is collaboration. Asking for help is perceptive. It's being self-aware. Asking for help is acknowledging that you don't know everything. So it's all about reframing what asking for help means. And if you learn how to do it at a young age, you'll be able to do it at a much older age, and it'll be better for you and every single person around you. All right? So those are my 5 tips. I'm going to go through them one more time. 1, learn and know your values. 2, know your why. 3, begin looking for internships. 4, find your people. And 5, learn how to ask for help. Thank y'all so much for spending time with me, and I hope that y'all have an awesome, awesome, awesome sophomore year.